The trade for Kelvin Herrera was an inspired move by Mike Rizzo. Zurga, Getty Images. One mark of an excellent baseball general manager is that he consistently surprises you by fixing the leaks in his boat with sheet metal rather than tin foil. For 2 months I have said the Washington Nationals needed to trade for one, or more likely two, decent middle-inning relievers. Solid journeymen would suffice. As example of the type, I cited ex-Nats Matt Albers and Craig Stammen. How hard can it be to acquire similar gentlemen? Was general manager Mike Rizzo asleep? On Monday, the Nats did not trade for a useful middle reliever of advancing years and uncertain prospects. Instead, Rizzo traded for Kelvin Herrera, a star in 2 World Series, a 2-time All-Star, and, this year, at only 28, posting a 1.06 ERA as a closer for the 22-50 Kansas City Royals. Herrera is not quite as fast as he once was, 96.4 meters p.h. now versus 98.1, but he has 2 other quality pitches and should be a major upgrade. Now, the Nats have 4 relievers who've proved they can be closers in Sean Doolittle, Herrera, Ryan Madson and Brandon Kintzler. Finally, they may have the kind of dominant bullpen depth that has proved so essential in recent postseasons. The Nats may not match the Yankees and Astros pens, but, with Herrera added to the potent mix, they can compete. In addition, just 3 weeks ago, the Nets brought up from Class AAA a baseball boneyard project named Justin Miller, whom they'd identified at a workout, pounced on and signed before other teams had a chance to discover him. Kintzler, who did some off-season trailing with Miller, helped tip off the Nats. Miller retired 27 of the first 28 men he faced, including 17 strikeouts. No one is as good as Miller's current numbers: 4-0, 1.42 ERA with 22 strikeouts, and no walks in 12 2/3 innings. But now, in the best shape of his career, challenging hitters and working with a back-to-the-hitter delivery from the far right-hand side of the rubber, his deceptive sinker-slider stuff plays as if it were several miles an hour faster than the radar gun reading of 92-94. Unforeseeable disasters can unhinge any season. What if Steven Strasburg, currently on the disabled list, has a more serious shoulder issue than the Nats now believe? What if Bryce Harper has turned into a .212 hitter for life? What if Daniel Murphy's knee never gets right and his season is a washout? And what'll we do if the moon runs away with the sun? Won't it get mighty dark and cold? Instead of focusing on gloomy improbabilities, isn't it more likely that the Nats just created a bullpen, including lefty Sammy Solis and promising reclamation project Tim Collins, that puts them significantly closer to a deep playoff run if they can get their everyday lineup reasonably healthy? The Nats traded 3 minor leaguers for Herrera, including their 11th and 12th best prospects. They have one thing in common: I've never heard of any of them. Nonetheless, Kansas City probably will be glad someday that they have Blake Perkins, Yohans Morel and Kelvin Gutierrez. Yes, a Kelvin for Kelvin trade. And Rizzo, the Nats' scouting, teaching and ability to project the future of young players has become so excellent that teams assume they will get value for value, though perhaps deferred value, when trading with the Nats. The Diamondbacks, White Sox, Phillies and Rays aren't complaining about getting Robbie Ray, Reynaldo Lopez, Nick Pivetta and Steven Souza. While many would have jumped at the first trade that promised a bullpen upgrade, Rizzo waited until he got his primary target, a player who looks like a perfect fit. Herrera, who has a 1.26 ERA in 22 postseason games, has pitched in various back-end roles and with Doolittle deservedly entrenched at closer, can shift to an earlier role. The Nationals' other top relievers don't mind at all. All spring they've been ridden hard, perhaps outright overworked, because rookie manager Dave Martinez couldn't trust his bridge to his back-end trio. They've all given off signals that they needed some help, please. That middle-inning weakness has also, at times, tempted Martinez to leave his starters in games a bit too long. You can't prove cause and effect, but the disabled list stints of Madson, Strasburg and Kintzler are probably connected to that middle-inning flaw. Also, the recent slumps by Tanner Roark and Gio Gonzalez may be from slightly too high pitch counts. Did Rizzo, dreaming of Herrera, wait too long to add that vital arm? If everybody is healthy in a month, Rizzo looks smart. If an important arm ends up having a major surgery, then hindsight may be harsh. For now, let it suffice that the whole staff is appropriately giddy at Herrera's arrival. "He's battle-tested. I think it's awesome," said Doolittle. "Let the old horse rest a little bit. He can let me pitch once in a while and I'll be fine," said Madsen of himself, saying he'd be okay with Herrera moving into his setup spot if asked. In fact, the biggest asset of the new Nationals pen may be its flexibility. "You look at postseason teams, there's a lot of quality arms out there," added Madsen, a teammate of Herrera's on the Royals' 2015 World Series champion roster. In the short term, the Nats have plenty of annoying problems. Harper looks lost at the plate, which has happened before. With Matt Wieters out for a few more weeks, catcher Pedro Severino is playing, and hitting .190 on fumes. Ryan Zimmerman, out for 40 days with a supposedly minor oblique injury, has become the invisible face of the franchise. And when will Murphy's knee allow him to play hard, and well, at second base on a regular basis? For now, the operative assumption about the Nats is that none of their important pieces, except utility man Howie Kendrick, is hurt too badly to return by the All-Star break, at the latest. Meanwhile, emergency duty has unveiled brilliant 19-year-old rookie Juan Soto far ahead of schedule, allowed Miller a chance to shine and given Matt Adams playing time to show his high value. What we see now is a Nats farm system that was barely dented by the Herrera trade, plus excess outfielders everywhere you look. That means a trade for a starting pitcher by the deal deadline is feasible, if needed. More important, with decent health, the Nats may soon have a bullpen with so many proven arms, plus depth and matchup potential, that for the first time in the team's history fans will be delighted to see the bullpen gate open. The foe in the opposing dugout, however, will not.